And for today's video, Father here asked me, what are your 2 top lenses you recommend for landscape photos? I will always tell you what lens I'm using at the moment. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are starting this video off with a beautiful time blending of this town, Klepe in Belgium. And I've got this beautiful vantage point, a beautiful view in this landscape. I've been standing here from 30 minutes before sunrise, and now at this moment we are already 5 minutes into sunrise. This morning we got some beautiful colors here in the back, but I'm not photographing towards the sunrise, but I'm more photographing a little bit with the sunrise onto the left. When the sun is really rising, we're gonna get some sunlight from the left into this landscape, and I'm gonna make a composite out of this picture. So normally I was gonna take this picture with a telelens because there's a church that I really want to have in this composition, but with seeing the stars in the sky and then this beautiful landscape, I was like, oh, I really want to capture the skies, because we don't really see that a lot in Belgium, to have stars in our pictures. Can you see that? So beautiful, so much colors on the clouds. That's super nice. Back onto my face. Yes. So what I'm going to do with this composite photo, with this time blending, I think I'm gonna blend in some orange glow into the sky, just a little bit above the trees in our landscape, above the horizon, and then on top, on this picture, I'm gonna blend in the picture with the stars, and then the bottom will be this beautiful tree here on our left, or a part of this tree, a beautiful leading a line with the fence and all the grasses onto the fence, and then the lights in this town, and an overall captured picture of this town. Oh, the mosquitoes, go away. So I think it's gonna be a cool picture if we have this partially sunrise onto the left in the composition, the stars on top, and then our beautiful blended in town with the lights. It's gonna be amazing. At this moment I'm using the Sigma 18 to 35 millimeters. It's on a Nikon body. The 18 to 35 is like really close to the kit lens. So I'm at 80 millimeters right now. For this composition I could have used my ultra wide angle lens, the Tokina 11 to 60 millimeters. When I'm using an ultra wide angle lens, the town will be smaller than I want to have it in the picture. I can photograph a lot more in this picture with an ultra wide angle lens, but there's no need to have more in this picture. So with the 80 millimeters, it's already a little bit too wide for the photo that I actually had in my mind. But because we have this tree on the left side, I was like, I want to include it a little bit in this picture to have a foreground element, to create depth of field in our picture, to not just have a boring foreground. just found a new composition here in the forest, and the sun is shining on a small new young birch tree in this forest, but the sun is moving quickly, so we have to set up super fast because otherwise the composition is gone and we can never shoot it again. Second lens for today to shoot a beautiful composition here in the forest. What I love about this lens is it compresses the background and also the foreground. You can focus on something small in the landscape with the telelens. So if you do a landscape photography, the thing that you need the most is like a normal wide angle lens. You can do a lot with it. And a telelens. Those are so cool. If I didn't have this one, because my previous lens broke and I didn't have a decent telelens for a while, and oh, I really missed it. I missed so many compositions because I didn't have a telelens. So with this lens, yeah, it's so cool. So we are at 106 feet of a shutter speed, ISO 2000, because there's the wind picked up a little bit, and because the trees are so small, it's moving a lot. The leaves are moving a lot. So ISO 2000 at f6. I've wanted to make this video for a few weeks back already, but a few weeks ago suddenly I got sick. I was still at work, or I was at home, but I needed to go to work with the early shift, and I was feeling sick in the morning. My head was turning and I was like, it's dangerous to drive when I look at the side and my head is spinning inside. I was like, no, I'm gonna stay home. And that day it was 5 in the morning when I felt sick, and then in that day around midday, early afternoon, my back started hurting super bad. I even got radiation going down to my leg, almost into my feet, and I couldn't do anything. It was so bad. The only thing that relieved a little bit of the pain was just laying on the floor on my back and almost doing anything. And I've stayed on the floor for about 2 weeks. The first week I was trying to roll a little bit to get my nerve a little bit loose, because it's a pinched nerve in my lower back, and that's that pain, or the pinching, is radiating towards my my calves in my leg. And it's not over yet, but it's already a lot better. The doctor also told me you have to keep moving, because that's the only thing that will make it better, to keep moving, but don't do too much. And standing still is the worst thing at the moment. Like 1 minute, 2 minutes, and it starts to radiate again towards my calf and my leg, and it hurts. And I'm talking to you guys, and I'm not looking around in this forest for compositions. But yeah, that's why I've been away again for so many weeks, just because I really couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't even play with my kids. Doing some exercises at home, it will get all better, and I hope I will be the old one soon. Just found another composition here in the forest, and I'm shooting directly to the sun, but I'm blocking the sun a little bit to create something like this. A bit of a sunburst into the picture. And the composition on its own is not the best one, but I was like, it's a fun one for what it is, and You can see the light here on the ground. That was what I was going for. We have a little bit of green here in the foreground, so we have a little bit foreground interest. But it was more like for the sunburst and to lead our eye into this picture to the back of this composition. A pretty easy composition. It's trees and the sun and the sunburst, that's it. But for this photo again, I've put on the Sigma 18-35 again, so that's the second time today. I've tried to photograph it with the 50mm, but 50mm was, it's a prime lens, but it was just too narrow. I couldn't capture the picture that I had and what I saw at that moment. So yeah, again, 2 times for the wide angle lens. But now I'm at 35mm, but it's still pretty wide. New composition acquired. We're still at the same place, the same location from the previous shot. I was putting away my lens and I looked here again in the forest. The light was changed and it was lighting up a birch tree. What I can see from on the pictures is like a birch tree that was cut off or maybe was broken. And the sun was lighting up those beautiful young leaves of this beech tree. So I've put on the Tamron 100-400 again on the body. So we're shooting again with the telelens. And just because I can compress the background, we have the focus on that beech tree. And now the sunlight is gone, the composition is vanished in this landscape. Because first I was focusing on a fern here in this forest, but I was just too late. The sun was passed on, the sun was gone on this fern, so no composition with the fern because it was really cool. If I'm not wrong, it's already 2-2 for the tail lens and for the wide angle lens, the normal wide angle lens, the 18-35. But I was just packing away again my gear and we're still at the same location. And here in the forest, I don't know if you can see it, but here in the back, there's another beech tree lit up by the sun. The sun is like in an open spot to shine on that tree. So I had the time to make a good composition, and I think I've made a vertical composition. So I'm including also a little bit of the leaves on top in the trees because they're also lit up a little bit, and the tree trunks are making our composition in this frame, our natural frame around this beech tree, and they're just like leading right to that little tree. The leaves are also a little bit overexposed because the sun is so hard, shadows are so hard, dark. But if I go with a slower shutter speed with the telelens, it starts to shake, so it's a little bit impossible to get a bracketing shot for this composition. Yes, you are seeing this correctly. I'm laying onto the ground because I'm trying something that I've wanted to try for a lot of years, but I never found the right tree to do it. And this one comes very close to the tree that I want to photograph. But for this picture I actually wanted to have an old gnarly oak tree to photograph, but I'm trying it with this beech tree. It also looks pretty old, and here the reason that I'm here on the ground is because this tree has some nice roots covering over the ground. I've always wanted to capture a tree with the roots on the ground and also the canopy of the tree in one picture. So to do this, I've put on the Tokina 11 to 60 millimeters. So this is the ultra wide angle lens, and I'm showing this composition to you guys because just to show you that it's not always easy to have an ultra wide angle lens, because I think an ultra wide angle lens is a little bit more artistic, because it's not always like you put on the ultra wide angle lens and bang, you have a great photo. I think with an ultra wide angle lens you really have to think about your compositions and have really something that draw your eyes into the composition. It's not my first recommendation to buy an ultra wide angle lens, because it's so artistic. If you're doing like architecture, maybe you should buy one, because you can show the places a little bit bigger than they actually are, but don't exaggerate. But I'm glad I'm laying here on the ground. If you're liking this video so far, give it a thumbs up to spread out the video. Oh, I'm so glad I finally went out, because waking up at 3:30 in the morning, it wasn't easy. It was a 1 hour drive to here, but because in summer the sun is rising so early, it's not always pleasant to wake up that early in the morning. So the answer on your question, which two lenses are the best for landscape photography? I would go for a normal wide angle lens. You can do a lot with it, but a lens with a little bit of zoom on it. You can start out with the kit lens, but if you want to have a little bit of better glass, go like for a lens like 2.8, f2.8, and go for the tele lens like I have is the 100 to 400. You can go like 100, 300 or something. But the least I would go is like 300, because we really want to compress your background, have that focus on the subject. You can zoom in the landscape just to photograph a part in a vast landscape. But if you can go for the 400, it's just that little bit more, the 100 millimeters more, it really, for me, it does a lot. So for landscape photography, just one wide angle lens and the tele lens, and you're good to go. You can start photographing the amazing landscapes. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.